Right, guys, so this video is going to be an immediate follow-up to the last video about tags. This one's going to be about CSS. So, just a little review. This is the header, this is the title, body. We have our different tags in here that show different things. It's open on, if we close this, we can click go live again. It'll open up for us again. See, this is our website, boom, boom, images, this, that. But here's the thing. It's kind of gross. It doesn't look super nice. So we're going to want to use CSS to make it look better. So CSS stands for a cascading style sheet. And CSS is basically used for main two things. It's used for positioning on the page, and then it's also used for changing the styles of your specific tags in your images to make them look different, which will in the end give you your website, right? And with JavaScript, which you guys don't learn in this class. So first things first, I'm going to show you guys how to make a CSS sheet. So before, when we wanted to make it HTML, we said .html. So I'm going to name this one styles.css. Nice. You know what? Let's make a styles folder even. And we'll put the styles.css in the styles folder. So basically, we need to link together the index to the styles, right? And then we'll be able to apply the styles. So let's say we just wanted to make some text red. That's going to be our first thing. We come into styles. The way you designate like a new class, it's called, or a new block of styles, is you say dot. After you say dot, you then say the name of the new class that you want. I'm going to name this one red text. Then you put this little curly Q brace. So what we've done here is we have created a new cascading style sheet, and it has a class in it called red text. It's highlighting it. Yeah, do not use empty rule sets. That just means that there's nothing in here, so it seems like it's wrong right now, right? So when you create this new class, you can now change attributes of it. So here I can say color, and then I put a colon, and you need all of these, otherwise it's going to break, so make sure you're doing it. And I'm going to say red. Then you put a semicolon. So that's how you designate one attribute. You say color, colon, then you say what you want. I wanted red. Now it's a semicolon. You can also you can say red, or you can like drag this around and it'll be different. It'll give you an RGB, a lot of stuff you can do. So right there, we'll just say red right now to make it easy. But you can also put a hex code there. There's different options. Also, sorry about that sneeze. Okay, so now when we come into our index, let's say we want this P tag to be red. We say color, no, that's a lie. We say class. So you can say class inside of any kind of tag, right? And then we say equals, and then we say the name of the class that we made. So let's call it red text. So we save, we come back. Whoa, what the heck? Shouldn't this be red? Well, we never linked together our index to our styles. So you do that in the head. I'll say right here, this is how to link a CSS sheet. So the exact syntax for this I actually always forget. I'm pretty sure you say the word link. Yeah. And then I think type equals. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Google it because that's what I always do. I'm gonna say how to link style sheet CSS to HTML. So there's this website, W3 Schools. They have everything you ever need for coding. They're awesome. I'm gonna scroll down until it gives me an example. There we go. Now we got it. Rel equals style sheet, href equals style.css. We're chilling. So you don't even need the type. You can put it, but you don't need to. So I'm going to say rel equals, and you say style sheet, so it knows what type of thing it's going to get linked to. And then href. So we use href in link as well as an anchor tag. And so you guys remember when we say href or when we say source, we need to build the path to the resource that we want to access, right? So we have to go to style. So for this case, we have to go in the styles folder, and we have to get styles.css. Now it knows that index.html is linked to the styles.css. So when we come back to our website, our text is red, except for our anchor tag. And that's because the anchor tag has its own set of styles, which is really interesting. So basically one thing you can know is that like your anchor tag, like the style that's going to get applied is going to be the one that is the closest in to that class, right? We can also edit other attributes, right? So let's say we want to make that text bigger. We can say the size is going to be, and that's like 14px or something like that. Come back. That looks kind of the same. Let's make it so much bigger that I can actually notice a difference. Oh, it's because size is the wrong thing. You need to say font dash size 28px. There we go. Now I made our text bigger, so that's a win. Another cool thing you can do, you can say hover. Wait. Text dash font. Oh, this is what I'll show you that later. I'll show you that in a second. It'll be really cool. Okay, so we had to name this one red text because that's a new class that doesn't exist. That's not the name of a tag or anything like that. And so when we said it, we said that class equals red text, right? And then we were able to edit whatever we wanted. And that's a good way to do it. Another thing you can do is you can edit already existing tags. So if it's something like an A tag, which already exists, then you don't need to like put a dot. You just say A, right? And let's say we want to make those gray. Say color, gray, semicolon. So now our link is gray. And let's say we want to remove the underline. I think the way you do that is text dash decoration none. Nice. And I know what you guys are thinking now that underline's gone. So I know what you guys are thinking, like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. Like I can edit so many different things. Right now we've seen how to edit the color, font size, and text decoration of just text, right? And so if you're ever confused, you can just Google it, right? So if I were to just have Googled how to remove underline from a tag CSS, guarantee there's gonna be like a W. There's a geek for geek right there. Oh, right there, text decoration, none. You could have just copied and pasted that, and you're chilling after you log in to continue. Fun. Okay, and so, click here. Now, another cool thing you can do is you can make text that only changes in a specific situation. So if I want to make it so my text gets bigger when I hover over it, I can say a hover. Oh wait, a hover, and then put it. So now it's saying I'm going to apply these styles, but only when you're hovering over the anchor tag. And you could do this with anything. You could do it with the dot red text as well, and then hover, but we're going to use A, okay? So check this out. Let's say when we hover, we want the color to change to blue. And let's say we want the text to get even bigger. So we're going to say font dash size, and we're going to have that change to 50px, which is too big, but oh well. Now, boom. Kind of cool, right? That looks ugly, but you can have situations where it looks cool. I don't know what color I can go to. Say yellow. That contrast. Red. And then we'll have it go to just a little bigger. So like 32. Yeah, just so you guys know, your website you make, we're going to use a bunch of like pre-done stuff, so it's going to look really good and pretty. It's not going to look ugly like this. But now see that cool styling when we hover over it. Boom. Yeah, so that's how you would change the font size, the color, text decoration. What if we wanted to be underlined when we were under it? We just say text decoration. Look at these options. Oh, also when it's autofilling like that, if you type tab, it'll correct it, right? Maybe we want it to underline it or make it wavy. I don't even know what that means. Can't even tell either because it's yellow. Let's change that back to like blue. Okay, wavy looks like it doesn't do anything, so we're just going to say underline. Kind of fun, changing our text, changing our stuff. You can change your font style as well. So for this one, let's say we wanted font dash family, and let's say we wanted Georgia. Now we can see that's a different font, so it looks a little prettier. You should have access to most fonts inside of your stuff. Okay, what else about style sheets? That's kind of how you edit text. How would you edit images? That's important too. So maybe I'll make a class and I'll call it image container. And let's say I want to give that a standard size. Let's say we want the width to be 25 px, or no, we want to do it again. Let's say 400 px, and we'll just do that for now. So now if I come back to my image of my cat, I can say class equals, and it doesn't matter where you put it. It just has to be inside the image tag, right? But it doesn't matter if it's before source or after source or whatever. I'm going to say image container. Cool. We'll see that made my image of my cat a lot smaller. We can make an image a link too. Just thought I'd show that. Equals. Let's find. So that's a Scottish fold. Cat. Let's find an article on Scottish folds. Come here. So let's say we're making an anchor tag. We're going to make sure it goes to the website about Scottish folds. Close our quotes, close our brackets. Come in, put that on. So now you can see it's an anchor tag that's encompassing an image tag, right? So now when we come back to our website, this is now a link. And it takes you to pick. So that's how you turn an image into a link if you guys ever wanted to do that. Okay. Cool. We're learning right here. Takes us to our image. What else would you want to do in an image? Oh, here's one thing that's kind of interesting. So right now, when we shrink our website, like when we resize it, let me make our image bigger so I can illustrate this better. Let's go back to my styles.css. Let's say we want to make the width 800 px as a default. When I shrink my website, if I make it a static amount like pixels, when I get there, it's just going to go over it, right? So I can actually make the width dynamic in a couple of different ways. One, I can say percent. So let's say I want it to be 50%. So that means I want its width to be 50% of whatever container is inside. So you can see it comes to half the screen. But when I resize the screen, it shrinks too. Crazy, right? I can also say view widths, or VW. And that stands for widths of the screen that's visible. So it should be effectively the same. When we start putting stuff inside of other containers, that'll change. Oh wait, let's put that. VW. So now it'll resize dynamically with our screen, which is pretty cool. Also, here's a big brain thing, and you guys are all going to want to know how to do this, and I'll show you again when we do our positioning. If you want to center something, the way you can do that with an image or with like a container or something like that, you say margin dash left auto, and then below that you say margin dash right auto. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense when I just type it. What it means is that for that image or for whatever class that's getting applied to, it's going to take all the way to the left. And this only works just for images and like divs, which we'll learn about later, but don't try this concept with texts, okay? Anyways, but basically what's going to happen with this is it's going to create equal margins on the left and right side. In other words, centering it. So if we come back, didn't work. That makes me sad. Just trying to figure out why. So I just did that inspect element. My class right here is image container. I know it's working because the view width is working. What if I make it a static amount? So if I was like another cool thing is if you come in here, where exactly is it? It'll tell you even like what classes are being applied to this image. I'm not seeing it right now. Well, either way, I'll show you the better way to center an image when I do the other section, so we'll be okay. Maybe the image just doesn't want it. Maybe it's because it's in an anchor tag too. That wouldn't really make sense to me though, because an anchor tag should be irrelevant to like positioning or whatever. Take it out just to see though. Guys, this is what HTML is. It's just a lot of debugging. Okay, it wasn't that. Oh well, I'll figure that out and I'll put it in the next video. And there's a better way to center things anyways that I will also show you. Put that in there again. Still link. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. Okay, continuing with the video though. What else? We have our images. Oh. We'll say 50 view widths again, just so it is dynamically resizing. I'm trying to think, what other styles would I want to show you? That's the hover, that's all your stuff with your text. That's how you would change the size of an image. Everything else is kind of positioning, which I'll talk about in the next video. I'm sure there's more of that. CSS styling. Look at all this stuff. Tells you how to do everything. Yeah, and just has you font family, font size. Adding a border. I can show you guys how to do that. That'll matter more for like divs though. So you can see that right there they did it to a p tag, so we'll do it to our p tag. You can just say border, and then you say how far. So I'm gonna say it's 2 pixels. I want it to be solid, and I want it to be black. That'll create a border. So now we come into our website. So that border. We can add margins and padding too. So if we say padding, that's going to be on the inside, like how much it wants, like how much space it wants between the outside of that element and the content on the inside. So I say I want 5 pixels of that. See that adds that padding. And then if I say border dash radius, I can make it rounded, which is kind of crazy. So I'll say 13 pixels. Now if you look, it has that nice rounded border. Oh, see how I apply that to all of our anchors, right? So not just this one, but also these ones too. Also another important concept, just maybe the last thing for this video. I'm going to make another thing, I'm going to call it .blue text. Let's say color. So this is making our text blue, right? So if we come in here, you can apply multiple classes to the same tag. So right here, if I say blue text, let me refresh, it makes our text blue. But it still keeps the other styles that it can from the red. So it's applying both the red text and the blue text styles. But whatever's the furthest in is what's going to get applied. So if I were to put this on the other side. Oh. Maybe it's whatever's last on the style sheet. Either way, the point I'm trying to illustrate is that there are you can apply multiple classes to the same thing, and they just have to be separated by a space. So when you do that, that is how you can apply multiple classes to the same thing. Okay, that's probably good for just basic text and image styling. I'll talk a little bit about positioning later, but right now you should know how to change, color, size, and font, how to change the size of your image. I'll talk more about centering later when I can actually show you how to do it. You can see that our style sheet keeps growing. But awesome. Thanks, guys.